Okay, so now what? Now we're going to shoot a video. We know that you're not too old. We know that you're interested in shooting video for social media. So let's get after it. Now, what do we do? Where do we start? Well, the first thing we're going to do is shoot some footage. We're not going to be putting it all together and making the final movie. Okay? That's going to come later. We're going to do this in little steps. First, we have to create some footage that you can edit. And that's what we're going to do today. And what we're going to be working on today is what they call A-roll. A-roll as opposed to B-roll, okay? A-roll, think of a newscast. If you saw a newscaster, he'll be sitting there and, well, today's news, da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And he's talking about a traffic jam. And all of a sudden, there's this picture of a traffic jam. Oop, here, we'll put him over here. So there's this picture of a traffic jam. That's B-roll, okay? It's illustrative of what the A-roll is talking about. It's fleshing it out. It's illustrating it. So B-roll is that's a different topic, and we're going to talk about that later. But today we're going to get the A-roll down on camera so that you can create it's the basic timeline of your video from point A to point Z. This is the video. And most of the information is right here. Now, there are other videos that maybe most of the information is going to be B-roll, but in this case, A-roll is king today. So the first thing I want you to do is when you take out your phone, just use the video mode and don't get into too many of the customization features that are vast. We're going to get into them little by little, and we'll show you what each one of them does and so forth. We don't want to do that right yet. All we want to do is be able to create a video that will communicate to our audience what we're trying to tell them. And that's what we're going to do here. So keep it simple. Put it on video. Let it be as automated as your camera will allow it to be, which is considerable. One thing you need to know about me, I'm not an expert in the field. I'm an old guy that learned everything I know about video from videos, basically from YouTube. And my primary source is a source called Think Media, and I really want to encourage you to engage with them. You can go as deep as you want to because they've been around for decades. Their information bank is vast. And they go into every detail of every element of everything about video on YouTube. They're incredible. Everything from hardware, software, shooting, just every element, every aspect, maximizing and optimizing YouTube as your platform. They're fantastic. They're also probably too deep for the beginning, and that's why you're here. You and I are more on the same level. I'm a little bit ahead of you, probably. That's probably why you're here. But I haven't made a $10 million budget movie. I'm a guy shooting videos, just like you. So let's do it together. And some of this, I'm going to be growing with you. I'm going to be learning as we do some of this stuff. I always learn. I learn every day something new. Every single day I do this. It never ends, and it's fun. It's really interesting how in-depth this is. But anyway, we're going to keep it simple right now. We're still staying simple. We'll get there. So first thing I want to do is introduce you to Think Media and encourage you to get in touch with them and start feeling them out for what they can teach you. Then come on back here and I'll kind of translate it into terms that you and I understand and can make it simple and can get there. Okay? So that's where we both fit in. Hopefully you can have time for both of us. Anyway, one of the things that they talk about on Think Media is that the production of a video is made up of 4 elements, and they are in every single video you shoot. Write it down. Those 4 elements are audio, video, lighting, and stability. Audio, video, lighting, stability. AVLS. Remember it. Write it down. Every video you create, the content is made with those 4 elements, and you cannot avoid them. Even in our little setup right here, audio, the microphone is built into the telephone. Video, so's the camera. I have a camera shooting me right now. Lighting, I got a desk lamp. Okay, it's lighting my face. Stability, I got a stack of books that I've sat my camera on that's stabilizing it, keeping it in one place so that I can relate to it in a consistent way. That's it. But even in this little simple setup, all 4 of those elements are on display, and all 4 of them can be improved. And that's going to be part of this journey. We're going to improve all of them a little bit at a time, one step at a time. Okay? So, the most important thing that you have to make a video that's compelling, that's interesting, is the topic. It rules. You can have bad video. The lighting can be subpar. Might get a little shaky at times from the stability wasn't perfect. One thing you can almost never overcome is really, really bad audio. That's a death knell in a video. We'll talk about that in a future video about audio. But you've got to have all 4 present, and the better they are, the better the video. So AVLS, but topic overrules all of it. That's why people are here. You turned into this video because you want to learn how to make your first video. So that's the topic, and it had an interest for you, and so here you are. If the topic isn't interesting to people, they ain't showing up for it. So make sure you have something to say and a way to say it. Now, setting up the camera, the first thing we want to do is get the camera high enough so it's basically at eye level. So we're kind of peers. We're looking at the same place. So in this simple setup, all we've done is taken a stack of books until the number of books put the phone at my eye level. Now my phone has a little case on it with a stand, and if I put it on that stand, it's tilting backwards. It's kind of backwards, and it would be pointing at the ceiling and right over me. So I've jogged this book back just a hair so that I could put the stand on the book, and it tilts the phone upright, and now here we are. Okay, so simple way to do it. Works fine. I'm not having any problem. It's not moving around. It's got a perfectly good view of me, and we're good to go. My stability is a stack of books with a little stand making it tilt a little bit forward. You figure out your creative way of getting to that point, but what you want at the end is the camera at about eye level facing you. Okay? Now, some other little nuances about this. You want to have some headroom above you. You don't want to be, falling out of the frame, but you also don't want to have so much headroom that it looks like you're crashing the party, like you're not supposed to be here. You're an afterthought. So this is too much headroom. So you want to find that sweet spot, little headroom above you, but it gives you a good. You're still the focus of the video. This is basically the where you want to be. Now, setting up the lights. Setting up your lights is important. What we have here, I'm going to adjust this just a hair. Okay. So my face is fully illuminated. You can see my eyes. I don't have a lot of glare in my eyes. If I tilt back, I do. I can make it so you can't even see my eyes. But if I'm looking straight at the camera, the light's at enough of an angle that I'm not getting direct glare, and you can see me. And eyes are important. Eyes are the communicators, so make sure that you can see your eyes. Okay? Now, this is basically right in front. It's just a hair to the side, so you'll see a little bit of shadow in here, right? You see it? All of this here. That's okay. But you can still see my face and my expressions, and you can get what I'm talking about. Now, if I took my light and I put it way to the side, this is a moody scenario, okay? I'm not sure that this is exactly what we're going after when we're just... Now, this could be great in a particular scenario. If you're shooting a movie and there's, different scenarios require different lighting. Lighting is a whole topic into itself that's endless. But for this talking head type video with this simple setup of a camera and a table lamp, you want to make sure it's pretty much in front of you so that you don't have major shadow that's compromising being able to see your face. Okay? So that's the lighting to start with. Another thing that comes up is if you have something to say, how are you going to remember what to say? Are you a good extemporaneous speaker? Well, great. You're going to be doing really well with this. Not all of us are. So the question is, script or notes? Now, depending on the video, I use both. In a scripted scenario, I'll write the entire script, word for word, and I'll use a teleprompter so that I can continue looking at the screen when I'm doing it. So, script or notes. For the time being, notes, I think, are what we want to do. Right now, for this video, I have my notes in front of me, and I've got little bullet points that I'm trying to hit and make sure I hit the right spots. For the most part, notes with bullet points will keep you on track. You want to stay on track because otherwise the video can become endless, and you don't want that. Now, another thing, and you'll see some examples of me screwing this up in this video, still to this day. When you look at your camera, look at the camera. Don't look at yourself. Here, I'm looking at my image, and it's really hard not to. You want to be, it's the most interesting thing on the phone. It's not to you, though. You're the most interesting thing in this video. Always. You're always the most interesting thing. So I need to engage you. And you're in the camera. You're not on my screen. You're in the camera. So make sure that you are relating to the camera. Everything you say, you're talking to the camera. When you say camera, say audience. You are talking to your audience. That's your audience. That little spot is your audience. So talk to it. Okay? Another thing is when you make a mistake, and you will, just stop, take a short pause, go back a sentence, and roll right back into it. And we'll fix it later in what they call post. You may have heard that term before. Post means post-production. After producing the video, when we put it all together, the editing, the music and sound and all of that, and put it all together, that's all post-production. We'll get to that. Right now, we're doing production. We're doing the A-roll. And so when you're doing your A-roll, keep on trucking, keep on going. You make a mistake, pause, go back a sentence, and roll right into it and keep on going. All right? Otherwise, you'll never finish a video. I promise you. The next thing that you need to do is hit record. Okay? Sean Cannell of Think Media, he was one of the founders of Think Media, and he's been doing this for 25 years or so. He's a pro. But he will tell you, you've got to hit record. And he's right. He's 100% right. Hitting record, is not going to make a great video. It's going to make great practice. You've got to do this a bunch. It's weird talking to a camera. I'm here at my house alone. Nobody's here. And I'm sitting here having a conversation with you. Well, that's kind of odd. It's not the normal thing that you do. Well, you're going to have to get used to that and make it normal. Once it's normal, it's going to feel normal to the people watching it because it is going to be normal to you and it's not going to be an odd situation. But when you start, boy, is it weird, and it's very weird. So you're going to find that out. So hit record. The first videos you make are going to be awful. They're going to suck. Don't worry about it. The first time you did anything, rode a bike, you fell over, maybe you got hurt, but you got it. You figured it out. All things that are complex and interesting and worth doing take some practice. You're not going to be good at them at first. Embrace that. It's not a problem. It's the norm. And the only way to get good at them is to do them. So our assignment, have a video done. Your A-roll, just the footage. You don't have to have a movie like I have, I'm cutting array to B-roll and I'm introducing, things coming in and coming. Forget all of that. We're not there yet. We're creating the footage so that we can then edit our video. So hit record. Do one. Do it again. Hit record. Do a new one. Hit it again. Do a third take. And then start looking at them to see. You've got to be critical about it. Look at them and say, okay, that was pretty good. Or, what's the problem there? The lighting's bad. It looks too dark. My background's all jacked up. I have 3 days of laundry in a pile behind me. Whatever it is, look at it and evaluate it. Work at it. So, make a video. You need audio. You've got that in your camera. You need a camera. You've got that in your phone. You need a light. You probably have that one in the house somewhere. And you need stability. Mine's a stack of books today. Can you do all that? You got a week. Let's make a video. See you next time on The Older Creator.